welcome all friends and shapes and sizes. This is the HollowMoon podcast, and I'm your host, Ava Unit 01, and I have my co-host with me today, Ling Ling,
Hello, hello.
and our special guest today is none other than Mr. Jonathan Loxley.
What's going on?
So, how you doing, man?
I'm doing really good. It's great to be here. I'm looking forward to being a part of this.
Oh yeah. Hold on, let me crack open a cold one real quick. All right, there we go. Now, for the first question, we will get straight to it. What's the biggest challenge What's the biggest challenge you have with your specific role right now, and how are you going to overcome it?
I would say the biggest challenge that is facing me currently would be balance in life in general. Being able to balance work and studies and having to help out at home with my grandmother and things like that. So I would say that probably the biggest challenge that I'm currently facing would be figuring out how to balance everything together. And as far as ways to solve it, routine, definitely, setting repetitious movements for yourself so that you know when you're going to do something and why you're going to do something and how you're going to be able to fix that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So I guess if anything, it would be repetitious movement forward, always.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I can definitely vouch for that. I know that since COVID hit, oh my God, I've been like all over the place, man. I've been a real scatterbrain lately, and it just kind of shows like all over the place, man. Um, it really, really, really sucks because I think once virtual school started for me, oh my God, I could really see my grades drop, and right now I'm kind of just completely and utterly just freaking failing some of my classes, but it has to do with some of the teachers too. I will take some of the blame for it, but like, oh my God, some of these teachers, man, I don't know where they got an education, but like, holy Jesus.
Yeah, it's definitely been difficult for everyone around with COVID and
Oh my,
everything.
yeah.
I personally know a teacher who's been very influential to me, a good light in my life, and he's doing the best that he can. But it's very, very difficult for the
I know for
teachers
the
as well as the
teachers who
students.
actually want to try and actually help
Absolutely.
students learn are having a tough time right now.
Oh
And
yeah, and
like,
there's a huge difference
and there's a
between the
huge,
teachers who are like, oh well, I'm gonna actually put effort in and try to make these things engaging and
oh
interesting
yeah,
for my
yeah.
students, and then the people who are just like, here's 30 worksheets to do,
Oh my God.
go do them over like the course of 2 days. There's a huge difference between that,
Yeah. And I
and
believe
I think
that,
it's important to differentiate that as well.
yeah, because it's not like yeah, that's fair because I kind of made it sound like every teacher was like that, but not every teacher's like that. You have the good teachers who will give you a second chance on most worksheets and like, oh, I saw you got a bad grade on that, like I'll give you a second chance on that and you can do it again and like get a better grade. But that some teachers are out here just talking like, oh, the grade you get is the grade you'll get, and that's that.
There's absolutely something to be said about the use of grace in situations like these. This is
Yes.
a new circumstance for everybody involved, and I think it's unfair for teachers and people in authority to not understand that,
Mm-hmm.
especially when they themselves feel that in their daily lives as well.
Absolutely.
Aren't there like pluses and minuses when doing school from home? Because it's more comfortable to be at home and just do your classes there.
It's yeah. I mean, there is pluses, but like, it's more of a. It's more of like a blessing and a curse at the same time. Kind of like a
No, I see.
like you have more stuff to do at home, and it's like you don't have to worry as much because you don't have to worry like about what you wear, and you can kind of sleep in more. But like when it comes to like a bunch of other stuff, like doing the actual work and uh what's the word? Actually doing yeah, okay, actually learning stuff, there's just a huge gap between that.
Oh yeah. The
Because it
issue with
oh,
sorry.
go ahead, go ahead.
I was saying there's a huge difference between learning and repetition. And that is a big issue with school system as it is today, in my opinion,
Oh,
is that
yeah.
they're focused more on being
Rep-
able to regurgitate, not repetition, regurgitation. Regurgitating information so that you can get a good grade on an SAT or an ACT
That's what
or
I've
the
noticed too, is
standardized
that
testing.
like every time I go to a class, they're like, you have to study these, and if you don't like remember all this stuff, then you won't be able to pass the quiz or the test or whatever. And I feel like school has just been like lately it's just been terrible because it feels like it's not even about like getting anything right anymore. It's just about passing or not. That's
Yeah,
just what it
and
feels like
it's
to me.
and it is that's exactly what it is. You know, when in America at least, when education went from being a what is it, an achievement to a resource. It's a product of our consumerist culture that everything that we have is something that can either be owned or bought or privatized.
Yeah.
Where, you know, I can look at a college education or even going so far down as middle school or high school and be like, all right, so I'm going to look at this as not an investment of time, but an investment of worth. I'm going to look at this like it's something that I can own, that I can use like a product almost.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's a big issue. When you look at school and when you look at education, especially when you get into higher education as a product, as something to be owned, you're missing out on the fact that education and learning is so much more than just something to be like owned or a product to buy. Colleges and universities today sell. They sell an image, they sell who has the fanciest gyms or the nicest
Oh,
swimming
that's
pools.
almost any college you go to has that.
Of course. And it's because we've allowed ourselves to believe that instead of being something that is meant to enrich the heart, the mind, the soul, and the body, education is instead a product meant to be boxed up and sold to students.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna move on to the next question. What's the biggest surprise you've had in the last few months and why?
Ooh, biggest surprise. Man, this one's difficult. There's been a
Yeah.
lot of jumps the
I could
past year,
definitely
especially.
agree with that one. There's been quite a few jumps. It doesn't really matter who you are. There's been a lot of jumps for everybody.
Absolutely. I would say probably the biggest surprise for me is making chief at my squadron and being
Yes,
able to
sir.
become the deputy commander of cadet operations.
Oh yeah.
I was honestly not expecting to be able to make an executive staff position until I was an officer. But the fact that I've been placed there now is a testament to the way that the leadership there trusts me, and I appreciate that genuinely. And I understand the weight that comes with that.
Oh yeah, man.
And I don't know, it's just one of those things where I wasn't expecting it to happen, but I'm glad that it did. You know what I'm saying?
It's more of like a trust on trust situation. Like I trust that you have the amount of knowledge and the ability to fulfill those tasks and that job title, and you'll follow through that without questioning my or that person's authority or someone else's authority, and you'll get the task done, no questions asked.
Of course.
All right. Langley, did you want to add on that topic?
I mean, I haven't really gotten any surprises since I don't really do much in life, but I
Eh,
guess I worked hard, well, not really hard, but well, I mean, kind of hard for the new video game Phasmophobia. I picked up some
It's a good
leaves, you
game.
know.
That's a good
I,
game.
I I don't have it, but I've heard that it's very good.
It's
Yeah,
quite
it's fun.
fun.
I played it yesterday with Ghostly.
Oh wow. Um, yeah, I played a little bit of it, and I almost pissed my
Yeah, well,
pants a
it's
little.
basically a surprise I made to myself, I guess, for doing house tasks or chores.
Yeah. It's this is one of those questions where everybody thinks that they have to have some like huge big thing that's going on in their
Oh
lives to
yeah, you
say,
don't
and
have to
and
have it.
that's
You don't.
absolutely,
You don't
and I
have to
love
have.
that.
It could be like a big or small thing. It doesn't really
Yeah,
Yeah,
matter
because
what it is.
so often in our lives we try to find happiness in the extremes.
Well,
We try to find our happiness in things that are going so extremely well that I'm on top of the world, and like
oh
like
yeah.
oh my god, everything is perfect. I'm so happy. And we also tend to find our sadness in like, oh my god, everything is horrible. This thing just happened to me that's awful. When in reality, it's a sign of mental and emotional maturity when you can be in the middle there and find happiness in the small things in life and be surprised at yourself and proud of yourself, even if it's not something huge.
Mm-hmm. And I 100% agree with that. Truly, I know, uh, personally, I've struggled with that, um, because you sometimes you can the only thing you can focus on is the pain, and it blinds you, and it only like it really sets a certain image in your mind of, oh, is this how the rest of my life is going to be? Oh, is this how miserable I'm going to be for the rest of my life? And it kind of creates this picture. It's not a good picture, it's a bad, bleak looking picture. And to have that mindset is is bad for you. It's it's self-destructive.
Of course. So often we allow ourselves to get sucked into our own pains and our own issues and our own sadness. And of course, it's good to feel these things. These are natural
Yes, they're
human
natural
emotions. These are
human
good,
emotions.
100%. But the issue in emotion I've found is that we allow ourselves to believe that our emotions are in control of us. And even if we don't believe that, we allow them to. If I was angry with someone, if someone did something to upset me, if they slighted me in some way, and I got angry with them, that's a natural human emotion. But the difference is when it comes to the action that I choose to take because of that emotion. I can either be angry and keep that in and get over it eventually, or I can lash out in my anger and potentially ruin a relationship or hurt somebody because I let my emotions control my thought process. And that's the important thing when it comes to emotions that we talk about, is we can't allow our emotions to control our thoughts
Yes,
and our actions.
because emotions and attitudes are contagious. They are very contagious. The effect you have on someone else with your attitude and your demeanor can change someone else's day like that.
Oh, 100%.
Alrighty. Next question. If you had an extra budget of, let's say, $9,000, how would you spend it and why?
Ooh, $9,000.
There's a lot you can do with $9,000.
There is a lot you can do with $9,000.
I know what Eva would do.
What would that be?
Buy a car.
Yep.
JDM?
Yep. I'd buy myself a 350Z.
There you go. No shame in that.
There's one actually where I live for sale right now, and I'm looking at it, and it's $9,000 to $10,000 right now. So I'm kind of
Oh, so $9,000 would be a perfect budget for you.
yeah. I'm kind of like, it's time for me to get my car. Bring me my money.
Time to bring me my money. But as far as how I would spend it, I would fix up my truck that I have currently. I actually was
Ooh.
working on it earlier today. I have a '97 Ford F-150 XL.
That's
and
a
it
man's car right there.
Yeah, I really love it. I love it when it's running. I love it when it's running properly.
What kind of
But
engine is it?
it's a 4.2 liter.
Okay.
It's doing all right, but it's got a fuel pump in it that is not doing what it's supposed to be doing, and a couple bad gauges.
Oh
So
no.
the fuel pump is not working. I need to get some PB blaster to blast off the what is it? The bolts, because I got to take the bed off of the truck to get to the fuel pump.
sweet
But two of
Jesus.
those suckers are rusted on. I put an impact drill on there. Didn't even phase them. So I soaked it in WD-40.
God.
Dude, I soaked it in WD-40, and now I got to get some blaster to try to get that crap off.
Where can
And
a
the
man
thing
get
is-
some WD-40?
Exactly. Blah,
Oh my goodness, that thing is. Oh my God, how much WD-40 did you actually use?
I soaked it in about half a can of WD-40.
Oh my God.
I used about half a can of WD-40 on
Jesus
two bolts.
Christ, man.
It had to be done. It had to be done. And because the thing is,
I can understand. I can
Yeah,
kind of understand.
and I can't break them. I can't break the bolts because the first thing that my monkey brain thought of was, let me break the bolts. That ought to work. But then I realized that I won't be able to bolt down my bed back to the truck. So
Oh Jesus Christ.
that will not work. So
I
now
mean-
I've got them.
Oh, go ahead.
So now I've got them soaking in like half a can of WD-40.
I see. That's probably. Oh my God, that's. It reminds me of my dad's old truck. He had a blue 1993 Ford F-150. Thing was huge. It was like a big old blue truck. Oh my God, that thing would leak oil like there was no tomorrow, man. I'm surprised the city didn't legally announce that thing as hazardous waste, dude. Oh my God.
I can only imagine the backwoods country work that your dad did to that truck. I can only imagine.
he hit the. Okay, funny story. So he was backing up at work one day, and there was
Right.
this pillar, and it was like a concrete solid pillar at a shipyard.
Okay.
And so he backs up, and I don't know what he was doing, but I don't think he was paying attention, and he just went right into it. The bed of the truck got bent in, and you know what he did to fix it?
What's that?
He slapped duct tape over it, and then called it a day.
I listen. Now listen. Sometimes in life, you just gotta smack some duct tape on it and call it a day. There's no shame in that.
There was no shame in that, but it has seen better days. Right now, it's kind of.
He still has it?
He still has it, yeah. It's collecting dust right now in his driveway.
Oh, that's a shame.
And I asked him, I was like, "What are you gonna do with it?" And he was like, "I'm not sure yet." I was like, "That thing."
You ought to see if that can be your first vehicle.
Oh, good God! I'm not spending money on that thing. That thing is expensive just to maintain. I'd have to buy so much oil, dude.
Yeah.
I'd be spending like $250 a freaking week just getting oil, or a month.
I mean, what model is it again? Hold on. Let's take a look here.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see. I'll text him and ask him what it is, because I think.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
I think. Did you find it?
No, I was just saying. Go ahead and yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you text them, we'll be able to figure that out super quick.
All right, there we go. So, oh my goodness, though, he told me about this. He got that in North Carolina, believe it or not. When he first got that truck, he got it in this guy was selling it at a Home Depot, and he looked at him like, "Hey kid, you want to buy a truck?"
Hey son, you want a truck? I say a truck.
But I'm kind of interested in my stepdad's truck. He has a Ram.
Yeah, no, I've seen your stepdad's truck. It's actually really cool.
It's a V8.
Is it?
It's a V8.
I didn't think that was a V8. Very interesting.
All right, he texted me an F350.
That is actually not that bad. What year?
Hold on.
Because, I mean, depending on the year, you would probably have a better chance putting some work into it, some elbow grease.
1997.
All right, let's take a look here. That's the same year as my truck. F350. Oh, that truck is awesome. Yeah, no, that's a beautiful truck. You put some work into that thing, goodness gracious.
Yeah, that thing is mean. His kind of looks. Hold on, I'll send you guys a picture in the chat. His kind of looks like this.
Let's take a look here. That's nice. That's very nice.
Yeah,
nice and
his
blue.
kind of looks like that. The trim is an XLT. The engine is a 7.3 liter turbo diesel.
Good lord.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's nice right there.
Yeah. Dude, the bed of that truck is so big you can mount like a freaking 50 cal on the back of it, dude.
Hey, that's the goal, man.
What's
What's that song?
Just gotta get rid of the ATF first.
Yeah, keep your rifle by your side, my man.
Yes, sir. We gotta freaking, what's it called? Gotta get the Fed boys off our back first.
Yes, sir.
Alright, next question. How do you continue to learn in order to stay on top of things within your role?
The best way to learn is to understand that you don't know anything. So,
Facts.
in saying that, a lot of times when we try to learn things as people, we tend to look at it and be like, oh, well, I'm going to learn this, and then I'm going to know exactly how it's done, and
Oh,
I'm going to be
Shapiro
like...
voice.
But yeah, we're going to look at things, and we like to think that we have an absolute and complete understanding of the way that things are done and absolute mastery on a subject or topic, when in reality, we as humans are constantly learning. We learn all the time, every day. Even something as simple and complex as looking, being able to see, being able to identify colors and shadows and shapes and, your depth perception, the way that your eyes perceive things. That's subconscious learning. You're looking at something and saying, oh, this object is purple, or oh, this object is blue. That's a flag with multiple different colors. That's a sky that shows different colors.
Basically, it differs between everyone's perception.
Well, not so much that it differs between everyone, but that we're constantly learning, even if we don't think about it.
Yeah, of course. We're
So,
I think sometimes in the education system, I feel like I'm not learning anything, man. I don't. Ever since I started to go into the high school I go to, I don't feel like I've learned a thing since day one.
Yeah, and that goes back to what we were talking about earlier about repetition versus not repetition. Sorry, regurgitation versus actual learning.
I think that's very, very true. Being able to, but it's not only about studying, but also understanding what you're studying. Like, what it truly means to study that, and what it truly means to understand the actual information you're taking in, to know the difference between the information and the what's the word? Whatever. I can't remember for the life of me. I tried.
That's all right. No, you're fine. You're good. You're good. But as far as me, like, how do I continue to learn? It's every day I wake up and I try to think to myself, we're going to learn something new today. We're going to understand something better than we did before. We're going to get something in a different way. We're going to see things in a different perspective.
That's
and I think that when
okay,
perspective, yeah,
perspective, it was a different mindset. Like, to have a different mindset when you, like you said, when you wake up in the morning. Because if you have like a set mindset, like, Oh, I guess it's just another boring day. You're gonna have another boring day. And
It's all about. Sorry, continue.
Oh, go ahead.
It's all about the way you perceive things. You know, Marcus Aurelius, he said it best. He wrote a book called Meditations. And for any listeners who don't know, Marcus Aurelius was a Roman emperor before the fall of the Western Roman Empire. He was the last of the 5 good emperors of Rome before the decline of the Roman Empire. He once said it best. Sic semper tyrannis. And Marcus Aurelius had to say, he said, in effect, this is not a direct quote. He said, don't look at things like, oh my gosh, look at what's befallen me. Look at the way that, the gods have frowned upon me. Everything's going bad. Don't look at it like that, because that's the mindset that you put yourself in. If you see things happen to you or someone else and you say, man, I'm just a dartboard for the forces of the cosmos, then you're going to feel that way. Of course you are. And then your day and the day of the people that you influence, even without realizing it, are going to be affected in that way too. If you live your life thinking that you are the most bad off, if you live your life thinking that, like, why me? Why has all this happened to me? Why do bad things happen to good people? I don't deserve this. Then you'll never get to the point where you understand happiness. Because happiness is a lot different than the way that we often perceive it, the way that we often define it in our culture. In our culture, happiness is very much tied to something called status. And status is having this thing or that thing, a Ferrari, a swimming pool,
absolutely.
a nice
People
house.
Perceive the status as being like super freaking rich, having like freaking girls come up to you every freaking week and like talking to you. They think that brings you happiness. But if anything, it makes you feel more empty, I believe. I feel like earthly values don't provide any sustenance for anyone.
Absolutely. And I 100% agree with that.
But I personally believe having like a moral code and personal values honestly helps with everyday life. A set of code and degrees to live by to get you through your day and get you through your life, I think is very beneficial to anyone.
And of course, morality, being able to understand things, being able to understand feelings and emotions, these are all required. You can't live life without being moral.
Without comprehending emotion, human emotion at that.
It takes a lot to be a real human being and a real hero. Sorry, I had to. I had to make the reference.
And a real hero, question mark.
And a real hero.
For any viewers who are watching that have no idea what we're talking about the 2011 movie Drive. And the soundtrack. Spectacular movie. Definitely recommend watching that movie. One of my favorite movies of all time.
The movie is very good.
Yes. God, movie's fantastic. In the soundtrack, there's a song called "Real Hero" by College and Electric Youth, and in the song, some of the lyrics are, "Real human being and a real hero," and it describes what the character thinks and perceives he is. So he sees himself as a hero and a real human being because of what he.
That's a wonderful movie, by the way.
Yeah,
like I know I've said it, but that movie is a work of art.
That movie genuinely is a work of art. And you got to say the of course obvious line, "I drive, it's what I do." But anyways, moving on. I think this is a good one. What's been the biggest failure in the last year, and why do you think that happened? That's a solid one.
The biggest failure.
Of this year?
Yes.
Yeah. So like in 2020, does it have to be something that I did or something that happened?
Either or.
think the biggest failure that I can think of would be, um,
You don't. No. We'll do something. Do you want to do something that you did?
I mean, I had an answer for something that happened
Oh,
to
go
me.
ahead. Go ahead.
I would say the biggest failure of this year so far was definitely my mom leaving
Mm.
out on my Nana and I.
Mm.
We have always had a very tense relationship. It's never been very
I know
very
you.
solid.
I know you've spoken about this before. I know that it's kind of
Yeah,
been an off and on,
yeah,
ongoing
no,
situation
it's
where
been yeah, no, it's been
there's
off and on in my whole life.
there's just been no rest with that
Yeah,
situation.
with that, and I think the biggest failure was her leaving. She came home December 20th of last year, and
I
she
remember you telling
was
me she just got home.
yeah, yeah, she got home December 20th last year. She got out of prison, and she came to live with us and was with us until April when she left. And I think that is it was a failed experiment. We really tried. We gave it our best shot, but unfortunately, with the way that she is, it just didn't work out. And I'm okay with that because I understand that I would rather love her from a distance than keep pulling her in and getting hurt. As for why it happened, it's because it's very difficult to get rid of some of the habits that she got herself into. And they called to her and she didn't resist it. And
I
that
think
is
that
just the plain cut and dry.
yeah, and I think that goes for anyone where you have to resist because bad habits can be just absolutely bad for like terrible, like depending on the habit. Like you have to have the self-discipline. Self-discipline is a very very big important thing. I think it's a very important self-core value to have is self-discipline. Self-discipline can honestly help you get through anything, a situation like that.
Of course. Being able to say, I'm going to do this today and the next day and the day after that, being able to discipline yourself, because discipline is not always a bad thing. We often attribute discipline to getting punished, whether it be by our parents, by a teacher, by whoever the powers that
By
be
a
are.
power or authority or something
Yeah,
like that.
discipline by authority. But discipline is not always a bad thing. There are a lot of situations in life where discipline will help us to become better
Learn.
people and learn. Absolutely.
I can also say that it depends on how you discipline yourself also affects how your self-discipline will differ. Um so let's say I said I'm going to do this today and I end up doing it. I end up not doing it and then doing it the next day and
To procrastinate.
procrastinate, yeah. I just put it off and I've not mentally trained myself to actually have the self-discipline and will mindset to actually do it.
I
But
mean, I procrastinate a lot. I My biggest failure of this year was making friends and trying to find a job. I mean, for the job part, I didn't really have much motivation to begin with, but
yeah,
well, now I have more motivation, but I don't know. I don't really know.
I would
I,
say for me, biggest failure, God, was with my ex-girlfriend. I'd say that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that I'd say that got the best of me this year. Because for a long period of time in the summer, I just really wasn't myself. And I was so disingenuous with myself because I was so attached to the fact that a human being actually cared about me And it became so, I don't know, what's intoxicating.
Yeah.
The feeling of having uh someone to interact with that I can connect on a intellectual level.
Was it too much pressure?
It wasn't too much pressure. It was just that, like, I kind of overhyped it and I kind of set it up in my head to be something
Oh,
that was going to work out, which it wasn't, and I should have seen that from the beginning. Um, she ended up cheating on me about, what was it? Uh, what was it? On graduation day. It was my stepbrother was graduating, and God, I'll never forget that text message. Jesus,
Yeah.
that was no fun, dude. Um, she recently actually reached out to me. Not too long ago, and I talked about it a little bit on social media, and I was talking about how she made her choice, and I don't want anything to do with her. I'm not gonna start any social drama, and if that's what she wants, then she's not getting anything. Because what's been done is done. There's no fixing what she did. Like, she can act all innocent as she wants, but to be honest, she was honestly the one who started it. So, other than that, yeah. Don't put your trust. All I have to say from that is don't put your trust in people who aren't willing to put their trust in you.
It's absolutely true. It's important to understand who you're putting your trust in before you do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Alrighty. Here we go. Who are three people who have been the most influential to you? Three people.
Do they have to be alive?
Nope.
Do I have to have met them?
Be anyone you want.
Anyone I want. Ooh.
even characters?
Yeah, sure.
Ooh, that's good.
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
I'm down for characters.
All right. So I'm going to give you the list, and then I'm going to give you the explanations. All right.
Alright.
Number one, Jesus Christ.
My
Number
man,
two,
solid.
Number two, Napoleon Bonaparte.
Ooh, okay, that's pretty good.
And number three, Anakin Skywalker.
Wow. Really?
Yes.
Hmm. That's
Oh
interesting.
man, no, I can't. Man, I can't put Anakin. I got to say my Nana. I got to switch out Anakin for my Nana.
Okay, that's fair.
All right, let me explain this to you. Let me explain this.
Alright, I'm listening.
Jesus Christ, because to me my faith is extremely important. I am a Christian. I believe in the triune God, the Trinity, and all throughout my life there have been many different situations and things that have befallen me that there's just no way that I could have succeeded or gotten out of them had there not been a God watching me. And once I realized that, it opened me up to the fact that there is more to this life than just what we see around us, and there's more to life after death than just nothingness.
Yes.
There's a J. Cole lyric that I love. I love J. Cole. J. Cole is a poet. And there's a J. Cole lyric that I love from his For Your Eyes Only album. And it's and I know I'm supposed to have and I know I'm oh man, where is it? Oh, and I know I've got an angel because I'm supposed to have a halo right now. And there have been a lot of times in my life where I can look back at that and say, yeah, no, that's true. In any other circumstance, in any like realistic way, I should not be here right now. I either would be an extremely different person or I would just be dead. But through my faith in Christ and from the way that he has moved in my life, the way that I can see that, he has carried me through a lot of different tough situations, and he has influenced my life in more ways than I could ever even count. Number two, Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon was the greatest oof, let me not say the greatest, one of the greatest commanders, military presence, emperors, whatever you want to call him. He's one of the greatest men in history. I personally, I really respect him, and I love a lot of his quotes. Like there's one in particular. Let me find it. I've got it saved. Oh, where is it? Ah, victory belongs to the most persevering, not preserving. And to me, that means that a man can deal with any how if he has a why. You know, you can do anything that you set your mind to if you have a reason to do it. And if you just wait it out, persevere, live your life and get through it, you will claim that victory. And you look back on the way that the entirety of Europe, 8 times they fought against him, and only on the 8th did they beat him. It's mind-blowing to think about him. He was truly one of the greatest commanders of all time, up there with Julius Caesar and Alexander the Great. And as far as my grandmother, Carol, her name is Carol, I call her Nana, she raised me. She fought for me when I didn't have a voice. She made sure that I had a safe home. She made sure that as best as she could, that we weren't lacking for anything. There were a lot of times growing up that we were, but she pulled through it. And now, because of her guidance, because of the way that God worked through the both of us, we're now at a point where we are living decently comfortably, and I have no idea where I would be without her. She, from birth to now, has raised me. She was there for my first word. She taught me to walk. She put me through school. She's been there through every issue in my life, and I could not be more grateful or honored to have someone so spectacular.
Absolutely, man. And I know I've met your grandma. She's like the sweetest woman I've ever met.
She's amazing.
She is awesome, man. She's really cool. Um, your Ling Ling, did you have one, or did you want me to go first?
Wait, was that all 3?
Yeah, he did all 3.
Yeah.
Can I go?
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you want to.
Yeah. So I've been influenced at 14, I think, 14, 15 years old, and it changed my whole life, like how I would live life. So there was like these people, like I found out about these people that just don't go to school and don't work, NEETs. I was jealous of them, right? Because I was like, they seem so comfortable just not doing anything. So I dropped out of school, and I've just been, doing nothing. And I mean, it was comfortable. It still is, but right now I kind of want to find a job and get my life together, I guess. But it's hard because this life is, it's kind of comfortable.
And that brings up a really good point, if I may.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
There was a book once that I read called Brave New World by a guy named Aldous Huxley. And whereas 1984 by George Orwell said that we're going to be destroyed by the things that we hate, Brave New World flipped it on its head and instead created a world where we get destroyed by the things that we love, the things that are comfortable, the pleasures that are so easily accessible to us.
Thing.
There's nothing wrong with good things. There's
nothing
wrong
with being comfortable, but being comfortable
absolutely.
Too much comfort is also bad. Too many good thing is also bad.
Because you have to embrace the suck. There's just without anything, without hesitation, you just have to embrace it sometimes, and you really have to get into an uncomfortable position to go into a comfortable position.
Yeah. Like video games, it's good, but too much video games is bad. Like I've played video games for like almost all my life. At some point, I played it almost constantly, and I I lost the joy of enjoying. I stopped enjoying video games at some point because I would play too much. But I worked on it, and now I enjoy video games again. So
Yeah. I've been playing video games all my life too. My first game was Halo 2 on the original Xbox. I played it on at my
Oh,
cousin's house.
dude.
And I started my life as a console gamer, but I'm most
I was
definitely now a PC guy.
I will have to say the same here. That kind of plays into our next question, but I'm gonna say some of my people that influenced me. Um, Number one is my grandfather. Number two is Bruce Lee, and number three is kind of just any samurai. I know that's strange, but um, number one, I say my grandfather is because when my dad and my mom got divorced, my grandpa really raised me. He became what it felt like my father. He raised me. He taught me how to. Not only did he teach me the value of being a good, honest, humble man and how to respect someone as a human being and as a man, but how to live off God's land.
Absolutely.
He taught me how to live a good and honest life. And because he wanted to see me prosper and grow, he wanted me to become something better. Because, he wasn't always a good egg in high school. He told me, because, he grew up back in the 50s and 60s where everything wasn't so nice and dandy.
Right.
Because growing up, he was pretty kind of somewhat dirt cheap, broke.
Right.
And he had to earn his keep.
Of course.
He really taught me the importance of life and life itself. And I couldn't be more greater than
Yeah.
to call him my grandfather because
And that's such an important lesson to learn. The importance of hard work and that the actions that you take and the things that you do mean so much more than what you can even see right now. I think that oftentimes in life we make decisions and we don't think much of them, but in reality, the butterfly effect of our decisions will extend years, decades, in some
it
cases
will
even
affect us into
yeah,
to the day we die.
yeah.
Um Now number two, Bruce Lee. I said Bruce Lee because he said this quote and it really stuck with me. Every time I hear it, I think about it a lot. It's about water. Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless
Yes.
like water. Now you put water in a cup. It becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle. It becomes the bottle. You put it into a teapot, and it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow, or it can crash. And that really resonates with me. Because you can choose to be whatever you want. You can choose to be a flowing river of peaceful, harmless energy, or you could be a crashing rapid that causes
Yeah.
nothing but destruction to you and those around you. It's all based on your decisions.
Yeah.
Um, I chose any other samurai because I freaking love samurai movies and
Oh yeah.
samurai games, and oh my god, I just love Japanese culture. To me is fantastic, especially Imperial Japan. Oh my gosh, like
The ones that we fought against in World War II?
no.
Oh,
Like
you're talking okay. No,
I'm
I
talking
see
about
what you're talking about
I'm
now.
talking about like old school, like the samurai and the shogun were still around.
No, yeah. Shogunate Japan.
Shogun, yeah, the shogun era, like back when warriors would fight with honor. And I have a quote here that says, "A warrior is worthless unless he rises above others and stands strong in the midst of a storm." I also have another one here that says, There is only one judge of honor of the samurai, himself. The decisions you make and the actions that you will follow are a reflection of who you truly are, and you cannot hide from yourself. I I really like the samurai history because not only did they fight with honor, but they fought with pride, and they didn't fight dirty. They fought like actual, like they didn't see their enemies as like, I guess, someone they were just trying to mercilessly kill. They saw their enemy as a human being, and yes, they were very 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 vicious killers, but their morals and their beliefs just really strike me, because not only is a samurai to be honorable, he is to be wise
Yes.
and knowledgeable. He is also a protector of his people's land and his people's freedom, as it says here. It really it really interests me when I see some of the samurai stuff, because like they truly were living in a honorable, they truly lived an honorable life.
Yeah.
They lived by their word, and they died with their word. And that just, to me, just really is like incredible.
100%.
But yeah, other than that, I really like samurais. Ghost of Tsushima is a fire game, that's all I gotta say. Oh my god, that game's fun. Okay, speaking of games, this actually plays into what you were saying earlier and what I was saying just now. What is the most influential music, game, or movie you've ever saw, played, or heard?
Oh my gosh, that's so difficult.
It can be all three if you want.
All right, I'll do one for each category.
That's good.
Let's see here.
I already know what music's gonna be, so.
Music, it would either have to be
Pink Floyd.
the album Holy Diver by Dio.
Oh, really? I was
Or-
expecting Pink Floyd.
Or Under Pressure by Logic.
Really?
Yes.
I was expecting Pink Floyd. No. Alright.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I adore Pink Floyd. But if we're talking like most influential, it's got to be one of those two.
Okay. What
Holy
about
Diver by Dio. Such a good album.
Holy Diver?
You've been gone too long in the midnight sea. Such a good album.
Oh, man, that's a great album.
Games, as far as games go, man, that's such a difficult question. I would have to say, oh my god, it's so either Fallout New Vegas or Metal Gear Solid 5.
Ooh. I played a little bit of Fallout New Vegas. It's pretty good.
Fallout New Vegas is a spectacular game.
Oh,
One
man.
of the best video games of all time.
You see, kid,
It's absolutely
the game was rigged from the start.
Exactly. So many iconic memes.
I know.
References.
Oh my god, dude! This
came out of Fallout New Vegas. I have 189 hours in that game.
Jeez.
I have played a lot of Fallout New Vegas,
What
and
about-
I love it.
What about movies? Most influential movie you've ever saw?
Say again?
The most influential movie you ever saw?
Either Kill Bill or Star Wars Return of the Jedi.
Those are solid. I have actually never seen Kill Bill before, but I've heard it's
Really?
never seen it.
Oh, we gotta change that. You gotta watch Kill Bill.
Come
on now.
I've actually only Quentin Tarantino films I've seen is a little bit of Pulp Fiction, Inglourious Bastards, and I think that's it. Wait,
Glorious Bastards was an awesome
was the
movie.
Django Unchained a Quentin Tarantino film?
Yeah, Django was a
I s-
Tarantino movie.
Okay, I saw that too. That was a good movie.
Yeah, very good.
Inglorious Bastards was like really really good. I really
You have
liked
joined my regiment, and the price to admission is 100 Nazi scalps, and I will have my scalps. That movie's so
because
good.
the only Nazi that's a good Nazi is a dead Nazi.
Nazi scalps. It's such a good movie. I love that movie so much.
Oh man, what about you, Ling Ling?
Video game that influenced me.
Video game, movie. It could be one of each topic, or it can just be one.
A game that influenced me was Team Fortress 2.
Oh, I
Here we
love
go.
that game.
About the crippling money addiction to Team Fortress 2.
Yeah,
That's
I've
such a
wasted
good game.
3,500 hours on this video game.
I thought you were about to say $3,500. I was about to be like, hold
No,
on.
I
you're not
spent
far off.
$1,000 on the game.
Whew.
Maybe a little bit more, but I did it in a bad way. I stole some money from my parents to just to
Oh,
buy hats
man.
and shit. Yeah, that was very dumb.
Damn, bro. Come on now.
Yeah, I mean, I was a kid, so I didn't know
Okay.
what I was doing.
Yeah.
He said he's a kid, but the last time we asked him what it was, he was like 14. I was like, dog, you were self-aware and you knew it.
Oh, come on.
I'm not letting
Yeah,
you
I
live
would
that
lie
down,
to my
dude.
parents,
I'm not letting you live that
and
down, dude.
I would just play while I was not allowed. I would play at night. I would just play the whole day, and I would just not do homework and stuff. Yeah, I was
Right.
addicted.
TF2 is actually my most played game on Steam.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't have as
wanna
many.
talk about my most played game on Steam.
Is it VR chat? I think it's VR chat.
Yeah.
Ooh, VR chat.
Very
Ooh,
social, huh?
yucky.
I'm a very social person. What can I say?
Well, that's
Let's
good.
see here. Let's look at your most played. Jeez.
What's the
100
second
and
most?
144 hours of VR chat and 21 in Siege.
Uh,
You played 10 hours of the Ghost Runner demo? I respect it.
no, dude, I have the Ghost Runner game. I got it the other day. Oh my god, it's so good. But like, I legit rage quit at it the other day. It was making me so mad.
I respect that. That game is very difficult.
All right, next question.
Is it because Ghostly beat your record?
Oh, I was mad about that. So I beat Ghostly's record by 3 minutes
Uh-huh.
and 4 seconds. And this man comes out of the blue like, I beat your record, dog, in 1 minute. And I was like, what the fuck? I was baffled, man. He had beat it in like a minute. And I was like, how? He was dead quiet in a Discord call for like a good solid 2 hours. And I was like, what's he doing? And then he finally comes out of the blue like, I beat your record. And I was like, what are you talking? And then he sent me a screenshot.
Like, oh yeah, nah, bro. I totally beat your record, dog. 100%.
He sent me a screenshot and I was like, the pain is unmatched.
The pain is unbearable. What's that Ryan Gosling meme? Broken, empty feeling inside.
Horrible empty feeling inside.
That's what it is. Horrible, empty feeling.
All right. What is the best compliment you've ever received?
Best compliment I've ever received. That I look like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Really?
Yes.
What about you, Ling Ling?
I was told that I look like a prince.
Ooh,
Really?
Yeah, because of my long hair.
I respect that.
But I was also told that I look like a girl. So you know.
Hey man,
it
that's
sucks
a win-win
too.
scenario.
That's a win-win scenario.
Yeah. I mean, I was told that I look like a girl by kids. So you know.
Oh, well, if it's kids, don't even worry about that.
Yeah,
don't,
exactly.
Don't worry about it, man. Best compliment I ever received. You look nice.
No, you've gotten I've complimented you better than that. I think
You at least.
If anything.
I quote. I think you said this to me. I don't know if it was you, but someone said this to me. Hey, at least you ain't look like a bitch today.
That was me. I did say that to you.
I still can't believe you said that. What was it? I can't think of one. You guys are out here like someone called me Leonardo DiCaprio. Someone called me a prince. I'm over here like I can't even remember the last time someone complimented me.
Oh, come on.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Not gonna lie.
It's been a minute.
Oh yeah, me too actually.
Someone said I looked like a lumberjack.
I remember that.
Cause my beard, I don't know what it is about my family, but out of like the dudes in my family, I can grow the fastest beard. Like my dad's beard is my dad never had facial hair like I do. Like it was crazy. I've been complimented on my eyes. That's one. What's a big one? People like my eyes for some reason. I don't know.
I can see that.
I have hazel eyes. So
It's very true. They're like hazel, but they've got a little like flecks of green.
yeah.
It's very unique.
All right, next question. What would you pick for your last meal?
Last meal. Oh, that's difficult, man. For my last meal, I would want some. Oh my god. There's a good sushi place out in Las Gaviotas near where I live. It's like 15 minutes away. But they have this thing called the Godzilla roll.
Bruh.
Oh, it's so good. I would want some sushi from that place.
Dog, I would have a feast of just the most junkiest food ever. Because I'm a junky person.
Hey man, no shame.
No shame. What about you, Ling Ling? Last meal.
I don't know. Maybe I used to really like nems, or I think they're called egg rolls. But yeah, I would have egg rolls, I guess, and maybe some donuts.
Donuts are awesome.
Yeah.
Alrighty. That concludes today's podcast. Where can your viewers contact you on? Social media, Discord, Steam, etc., etc.
If any listeners would like to contact me, hit me up, talk for a little bit. My Discord is Nighty Night number 0398. That is KNIGHTY space KNIGHT number 0398, capital K's. Just hit me up. We'll be able to have a nice conversation. I'm looking forward to talking to some of y'all.
About me, you can contact me on 4chan. You can subscribe to my posts, my vlogs. No, I'm joking.
I had nuggies today. That's the most disconcerting part.
Good man. Good man. The
Do
4chan
I get
nuggies.
good boy points? Is that how that
Yeah.
works?
Yes. You get your good boy internet points because you had your nuggies today.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
yay. I've been a good boy.
All right.
Any other platforms they want to contact you on, or?
If anyone would like to contact me on Instagram, my Instagram is jonathen757, JONATHEN 757.
Alrighty, that concludes today's session. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank y'all for having me.
stay classy. Thank you for coming. Pleasure having you. Ladies and gentlemen, stay classy, stay cool, stay clean.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.